guys, Max and Max's Models here, and I'm just coming into the TARBIS. It's about 11:30 a.m. I thought I would just, out of nothing else much to talk about, kind of describe my little routine when I come out to work in the sheds, which I'm trying to make my daily routine, but of course life has a way of getting in the way. But so here's what I usually do. Let me flip this over and start over here. Okay, I come into the shed, and of course I flip on the lights. I have a app on my phone so I can turn the air conditioner on before I even get out here when I remember to do it. Then I usually turn on the floor fan to help circulate the air. The ceiling is too low for ceiling fans. Usually come in, crank up the laptop and my little speaker over there. Normally I have my project right here, and today we're going to be working on the spinny prop for the Spitfire and see if I can find some nice stripes for the little airliner. If I'm lucky, I'll get those two Spitfires done today. And then the next project, of course, is the Hughes 500, which I've done a little pre-priming on. And then I want to start getting to the stuff on the stash. I know some people have said, don't build that Aurora Chinook, but sorry guys, models are made to be built. And it takes 10 or 15 minutes to get everything heated up. One thing I've done which kind of works and kind of doesn't, I have a bunch of paints right here, along with a bunch of tools, and believe it or not, this is actually kind of organized. When I'm doing a little touch-up hand painting here, but of course I have a couple of drawers full of paint over here for when I'm working in the paint booth, and of course a ton of rattle cans, usually used for larger coverage. I'm planning a World War I 1/72 scale build marathon in the not too distant future, just for kicks and giggles. And that is, there's that Sparmex that you wonderful people got me. I still am very moved by that. Thank you very much. So that's kind of how I get cranked up. Like I say, it usually takes 10 or 15 minutes to get everything cranked up and going. Sometimes when I'm shooting videos, I use my Osmo to hold the cell phone. It's been dropped enough times. It's gotten pretty beat up. And sometimes I'll just prop it up on a shelf or something. Depends on what I want to do. I try to make sure I don't have the overhead light in the background. Try to keep the light on my face so you can enjoy this, because this doesn't just happen. The plan for the Hughes 500 is to dress it up like I talked about. Then I will take this diorama of kit and car, and I will clean it up, dust it off. It's been sitting here for some time, and then probably hang the helicopter right above it. And I am probably going to have to resort to, like some of you guys said, actually hanging models to make room. Okay, so let me get working, and I'll talk back to you later. Hey guys, well it's 9:30 p.m. I'm getting a little bit late tonight from the TARBIS, but I got a lot done. I got to work on the spinny prop. I wound up masking it off and then putting a substantial amount of putty on it, sanding it down. Also started, now this is for the American Spitfire, but I also wanted to finish, if possible, the UGR, the Mark I Spitfire, and I did, and we'll talk about what happened. First off, for 1/72 scale kit, this thing has an obscene amount of decals, many of which are just microscopic. But I managed to get them all in, including the long, skinny decals. They actually, I never realized it was out of place, had to move it into place. And that was, needless to say, very tricky. But very slowly proceeding, let the decal set a little bit and then move on to the next. And I had to be, as you guys are aware, the more you build the model, the more decals you put on it, the more difficult it gets to find a place where you can grab it without removing some of the decals. So as I took a little break from that, to once the spinny prop was finished up, I put it on the American Mark 5B, and that's this kit. And it turns out I've got I measured it, but I cut it a little too big, I think. But you know what? Good enough. I actually like the way it looks. Spitfires do have a pretty big prop for their size. But anyway, this is going to be one of my 3 submissions for the first kit build, because it was this or one of the other twos or some earlier version of it that was my first kit. So anyway, back to the other models. I'm save some of this eye candy for the group build. So gradually, the Mark I started coming together. This is the newest of the three kits, and the decals, all the Airfix decals were actually good. Even the old ones, these decals were excellent. Did have a little trouble getting some of them to stick. There are 8 separate gun patch decals, the little red patches they put over to keep crap out of the barrels. I got them all on, but at one point one of them disappeared on me, so I just used a little red paint. Worked out fine. But out of the 60 something decals or 58 decals that are on this tiny little kit, there's only 2 that aren't there, and they're microscopic, so you'll never know. So then it was time to do a couple of quick hero photos. I was so happy with this kit the way it came out. I'm not flawless, but I was so happy with it that I decided to go ahead and put this one inside the house. It's in the cabinet inside the house in the pilot room, which is the highest honor I can pay a build. I am not unhappy with it. There's no really big blemishes. I mean, the biggest mistake, which we talked about earlier, was my color palette was a little off because I mixed my own colors and I eyeballed it. And when I compare it to the actual color photo, I'm like, it's odd. It looked so much closer when I painted, but when I dried out and flattened it and got the flat on it, got the canopy peeled, the antenna wire put on, I was like, well, anywho, this is what we got. I'm happy with it, and that's really what matters, is that you're happy with your own builds. So the 3 of them together, my little Spitfire brigade, and they're going to be my 3 submissions. Okay, enough of those. I don't want to spoil you. I don't want you to fill up on Spitfire now and not have anything for the group build. So then did some prep work on the Hughes 500, mostly just priming, shooting some colors to the interior. I think I'm going to cover the clear parts. I bought some smoke-colored Tamiya acrylics. I think I'm going to airbrush some of that on the inside of the canopies and the glass to give it that mysterious look, since it's going to be modified up with kit and car. See if I can locate a pilot somewhere. And then I got just a little bit of work. The first couple of sets of stripes I put on the little 3D print airliner just didn't work. So I've got these little thin ones on here now. I got all clear coated. And for what it is, that's going to be good enough. I like the way it looks. It'll show up good on camera if I ever want to use it for something. So there you have the day's work. This is probably as much work as I've ever put into a 1/72nd scale single engine fighter plane, or maybe even a 1/72nd scale kit, period. But again, I'm happy with the results. Okay, guys, that's all we've got right now. I got a busy day tomorrow. Don't know if I'll get any model building or video making done. We will see. So you take care of yourselves, and as always, model on.